Vida Nocturna. I hope I said that right. I barely have a grasp on the English language without trying to butcher Spanish as well. Legends, welcome along to another little Laurel and Hardy review on the channel. This is the last review we did here for Laurel and Hardy was Blotto. This is the Spanish speaking version of Blotto, entitled Vida Nocturna. I hope I said that right. I barely have a grasp on the English language without trying to butcher Spanish as well. This is absolutely brilliant. This review is going to be incredibly short because, as I say, it is the Spanish speaking version of Blotto. So definitely, if you want to get a more detailed version of Blotto, skip back to the previous upload and watch that review. But this one here, like all the foreign speaking versions of Laurel and Hardy, Stan and Ollie actually speak their own dialogue in the films. I've said it countless times on the channel before. It is something that, you know, blows me away every time I see them doing it, because, you know, nowadays if you're going to translate a film to some other language, you know, you're just going to get a lot of voice actors into a studio, re-record the lines, dub it over the original film. But they actually reshoot the vast majority of their films. Everything where they spoke English are reshot with them speaking the actual language of the version that they're doing. And you know, you'll notice different actors in the background, like the full scenes and full setups is reshot with Spanish speaking actors, and you know, Stan and Ollie going the extra mile by actually, you know, learning the lines in Spanish, doing it themselves. It's just something that, you know, you don't see anymore. Absolutely brilliant. The major differences between Blotto and Vida Nocturna is, you know, it's an extended version. I've noticed that a lot. Like, if you do get this hold of this box set, don't skip over the foreign language versions, because the films are incredibly different to the English speaking ones. You know, the basic story arc is the same, but usually they're extended. There's a lot more in there, and even things that, you know, aren't necessarily changed that much. Some of the comedy is a little bit different in it. You know, one part I did notice in it was when Stanley there's a part near the start of it where he's going to pretend that he sent himself a telegram, and he has to sit down and write this, and, you know, jump out through a window and stash it outside the house, ring the doorbell, come back in through the window, sit down. The whole part with him actually writing the telegram is completely different. The comedy in it is a lot better, I found, in this one. The other big differences in this is musical numbers and stuff like that. When they get to a club later on that night, you know, if you're not going to go back and see Blotto, basically in this movie, Stanley's married. They're trying to get out of the house for a night, steal a bottle of alcohol off Stanley's wife, go to a club that's just opened up, get drunk on the bottle for cheap, and, you know, get one over in the wife. That's basically it. You know, if you want a more detailed version, go back to the Blotto review. But in the club itself, in the English speaking version, you see one dance routine and one musical number that a guy sings. And this one here, you get a longer version of that first dance routine, and there's another couple of added, you know, routines in the cabaret that weren't in the English version. You know, it's a little bit longer, a little bit more entertaining. For my money, I actually enjoyed this version better than Blotto, because in Blotto you just see Stan and Ollie opening the bottle taking a drink. Then by the end of the film, they're absolutely, you know, drunk. But in this one, as I say, there's a lot more numbers happening within the cabaret and the club, so you get a longer version of Stanley and Oliver actually drinking from this bottle and getting drunk, and the trouble that they're getting themselves into while doing that. There's a bottle that they order, a bottle of water for like a mixer for the drink, which is, spoilers, cold tea that the wife replaced. There's a section where Stanley accidentally, it's one of these bottles where there's like a handle on it. You press it down and it automatically sprays the water out. And Stanley is that drunk, he actually leans on it and he sprays it all over Oliver, and his chair's completely soaked. So he decides, okay, this chair's full of water. He goes and switches it with another chair, brings a dry one over. And then another couple come in to the table where he took the dry chair from, and they sit down for their night's fun, and the wife sits down on the wet seat. Now that was added, that wasn't in the English version either. So, you know, by all means, I'm not telling you what to do, but I would highly recommend, if you get hold of this box set, you actually decide to spend the money on it. It's, you know, you're not going to waste your time or your money in this box set. It is worth whatever money you pay for it. It is incredibly cheap at the minute to buy it. The last time I looked, there's something like 20, I want to say 22, 23 discs worth of stuff here, between features and shorts and silence and whatnot, over their whole career. And I think the last time I checked, it was like 20 to £30 to buy the thing. And, you know, that's no money these days. That's incredibly cheap. But, you know, it's not going to be wasting your time or money to sit down and watch this movie. But again, definitely don't skip over any of these movies just because it's not in an English language. You know, you're going to see the English version first. So when you're watching the Spanish version, you know what's going to happen in the movie. You've got a rough idea of where it's going, but the comedy is a lot different in the foreign-speaking language version. Is they put so much time and effort into these movies. It's unreal. It's not the same film as Blotto. It's for my money, and as I say, I've barely got a handle on the English language, never mind Spanish, but I enjoyed this far better than the actual English version. So yes, I would highly recommend. If you've never watched Laurel and Hardy, you need to do it ASAP. Your life will be much better because of it.